Welcome to another video by 12th Step. In this video, we will be starting with the functions of management, directing function. So as we know that the functions of management are planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating and controlling. So now this is the fourth function of management, that is directing. It is on page number 23 of your OC and M textbook. So let us begin. Directing, meaning of directing. Directing is the soul of management function. So directing, to direct someone, to tell someone, to give order to someone. So that is the main important function of management. So here it is considered as the soul that is important. So directing is the soul of management function. It is the process of instructing, guiding, communicating, inspiring, motivating and supervising the employees to achieve predetermined goal of organization. So now this process, this function of management, that is directing, that is to instruct, to tell someone, to direct someone, to guide someone, to communicate, that is to talk with them, also to inspire, to motivate, to encourage, who? That is to the employees. So the managers or the CEO of the company, they direct, they tell, they communicate, also they encourage, motivate, they inspire the employees about the company's goals, about the company's predetermined goals, that what the company has to achieve, what all aims, what all objectives that the company should achieve. So they tell them. So that is, we can say that they direct them, they instruct them. So that is called as directing. Direction is a continuous function initiated at top level and flows to the bottom level through the organization hierarchy. So as we know that the hierarchy is top level, the middle level and the bottom level. So here it is said that direction is a flow. So it is a flow from the top level to the bottom level. So it is a flow of command, it is a flow of order from the top level, then to the middle level and from the middle level to the lower level. So it is a flow and it is continuous, because in the company, in the organization or wherever it is, there should be a flow of decisions, there should be a flow of directions. For example, if we see, principal is the main in school and colleges, principal comes at the topmost, then in the middle level we have all the teachers and in the bottom level we have the students. So the directions, the orders come from the principals to the teachers and teachers also instruct the students. So this is a flow. Then it is a continuous marginal process that goes on throughout the tenure of the organization. So we know that direction is continuous in whichever company, in whatever company it is, direction is there in each and every step. Director is a person who shows the correct path as well as guide the employees in solving the problem wherever necessary. So a main person in a company, a main person is called as a CEO, boss or the director. So here the director is the main person who gives us the correct path, who shows us the correct path, who guides us about the correct path of the companies. So this path, this decision or this directions and order is given by the director to the employees if also they are facing any problems or if also major decision has to be taken by the company. For example, also we can say in schools and colleges, teachers are the main element, teachers are the main, that is teachers also guide you. Similarly also parents in our homes, they also guide their children what has to be done, how it is to be done, when it has to be done. So these are the main, so they are called as the directors. A few philosophers called direction as life spark of an enterprise. So there are few philosophers, there are few experts and thinkers who call this direction as the life spark of an enterprise. Now we'll see the definition of directing. First definition is given by Theo Heyman. It says that direction consists of the process and technique utilizing in issuing instructions and making certain that operations are carried out as planned. So here it says that direction is a process to direct someone, to give orders to someone. So it is a process that has to be utilized, that instructions we as an employee has to keep in mind, and accordingly how it is being planned, it should be achieved. Then the second, Ernest Dale says that directing is what has to be done and in what manner through dictating the procedures and policies for accomplishing performance standard. So this definition says that directing it is what has to be done. So what things, what all aims, objectives that has to be achieved. So what has to be done. Also in what manner, in which ways, which techniques, which plans, policies, regulations do we have to follow and complete that, the specific direction. So it is being said that it is through dictating the procedural plans, policies for accomplishing the goals of the organization that the managers and the CEO of the company has decided. Then turn to page number 24. The third definition, which has been given by Ulrich and Bridge, says that directing is the guidelines, the inspiration, the leadership of those men and women that constitute the real case of responsibility of management. So this definition says that direction is guidance. Guidance is how we help someone, how we direct someone, how we instruct someone. So it is a guidance. Also it is the inspiration, that is we inspire to do good things to others. Also the managers and the boss and the CEO, they inspire their employees for the betterment of the company and for the betterment of themselves also. The leadership of those men and women that constitute the real case of responsibilities of management. So it is in them, it is in the employees, whether it is men or women, they should be responsible for whatever work they do in the organization, in the business. Now we have importance of directing. Again here there are 10 importance of directing. We'll see one by one. Directing refers to the process or technique of instructing, guiding, inspiring, counseling, overseeing and leading people towards the accomplishment of organizational goals. Now every company has a definite goal, a definite aim that is being set that they have to achieve. So directing is a process, it is a procedural technique of instructing. That is, first we instruct the employees of what has to be done. Then guiding, so we guide, in this way you can do, in that way you can do. So we give certain tips, we give certain analysis of how things can be done. Then we inspire them, yes you can do it. We inspire, we motivate, we encourage the employees that you can do it. If you do it, we will also reward you, whether it is monetary or whether it is non-monetary. Then we counsel over all the things, we counsel over their work, we see what they do, in which manner they do, and also we oversee, we have a continuous watch. The managers, the CEO, they continuously monitor the performance of the employees. So due to all this, the goal of the organization and the goal of the company can easily be achieved. Supervision is an integral part of direction function. The director supervises employees by observing, examining the report and behavior of the employees. So supervision, that is to keep a look. So supervision is an integral part meaning it is a very important part in this function of directions. So what happens is the supervisors, they keep a watch, they observe, they examine, they keep a watch over the reports of the behavior, how the employees is behaving, how the employee is doing the work. So supervision, which is very important, is done at this stage, that is at the function of directing, function of management. We can also take the example of your examination. Now board exam, There are supervisors who keep a watch of what you do, what you write, whether you're looking here or there, whether any of the student is attempting to copy. So how to stop that student to copy, okay, how to motivate. They also give good wishes before you begin. They give certain instructions. So that is called as a supervision. That is being done in your examination. Okay, then on the basis of the above definition, the importance of directing can be stated as follows. The first one is initiate action. Second, integrates efforts. Third one is means of motivation. Fourth one is provides stability. Fifth one is coping up with change. Sixth, effective utilization of resources. Seventh one is creates team spirit. Eighth one is explore capabilities of individual. Ninth one is increase the efficiency level, and 10th one is cooperation. So now we will be discussing one by one detail. So the first importance of directing is initiate action. Direction is the function which support to activate the plan with the help of employees. Every action is initiated through timely direction. Now, so direction is the main function where the plan, it has to be started, it begins. So with the help of employees, if they are properly directed, then the plan will go according to the directions and according to the time set by the managers. Proper instructions are given to subordinate while completing their assigned tasks. So each and every employees in the organization, proper instructions and proper directions are given to them. In this way you have to follow. This is the plans and policies of the companies. So you should stick to that. You should follow all the plans and policies. So direction is given at every possible stage. The managers direct the subordinate about what to do, how to do, when to do, and also see that the instructions are followed properly. So here in a company there are various managers who look after the subordinates, who look after the employees, whether how they are doing the work, in which manner they are doing, what work is done, when is the work done, is the work happening on a specific time that is being scheduled. So instructions, proper instructions are given to the employees in the organization. For example, if we see your HSC form filling also, proper instructions are given. Your seat numbers, your date of birth, your name, your signatures, your photos. So proper instructions are given. So this is called as direction. That is, the teachers direct you in whatever and whichever work you do, how that is to be done or when that is to be done, where signature is required, where you have to stick your photographs, where you have to give all your documents and pay the fees, etc. Then the second function is integrates efforts. Communication is one of the element of direction. Now, when we direct someone, that is when we tell them, so we communicate, that is we talk, we converse. So communication, that is talking, is one of the important element in direction. If there is no communication between any levels of the organization, then it will be a problem for the company. So that is why communication, talking with each other, telling them what it has to be done, how it has to be done. So communication is very important. It helps in integrating the efforts of all the employees and department, which result in achievement of organizational goals. So in order to achieve the organizational goal, in order to achieve the goals of the company, the employees should well be communicated with each others. Supposing if there is a fight amongst the employees, then there is no use. But if the employees are cordially talking with each other, communicating with each other, then there will be a smooth flow of work. Integration of effort is possible through persuasive leadership and effective communication towards the accomplishment of organizational goals. So if the communication, the means of communication is good, if the means of communication is excellent between the employees itself, then the organizational goals can be achieved very easily. Now the third point, means of motivation. While directing the subordinates, their options are also considered. So when the managers direct, when the managers tell their subordinates, their opinions, their views, their ideas also is being taken into consideration. A manager identifies the potential and abilities of its subordinate and help them to give their best. So every employee's views, opinions, suggestions are welcome. So if it is a good suggestion, then they implement it, they try to implement it, and also they help their subordinates in every possible way and come up with the best solution. He also motivates them by offering them financial and non-financial incentive to improve their performance. So if any employee in the company comes up with a best possible solution, then that employee is rewarded either financially, that is bonus or incentives, or either non-finance incentives, that is your motivations, the appreciation. So they try to balance it. It boosts the morale of the subordinate. So by giving appreciations, by rewarding, by giving bonuses or incentives, so that person, that employee will feel about the companies and also will try to work hard for the betterment of the company or organization. Then the fourth point we have is provides stability. Stability plays a significant role in the growth and survival of the organization. So now here, for any company to be stable is to be in the competition, surviving of the company is very important. If any company is not stable in the competition, as there is a lot of competition in worldwide today in this 21st century, if the company is not stable, then it will lose its hold. So stability, being firm, being in that competitive run is very important. Effective leadership, communication, supervision and motivation develop cooperation and commitment among the employees. So if the employee is having the leadership quality, if the employee is communicating, or if the employee is motivating, so this develops the functions of management, that is, it develops a sense of commitment and dedication to the company or organization. It provides stability and creates balance among various departments and groups. So this helps the managers, or this helps the employees to be stable, to be firm in their company, also for the long growth of the company. Now the fifth point is coping up with changes. Factors of business environment are always changing. Now as we know that even fashion nowadays, for example, if we take fashion, it is changing. Earlier there were polka dots dresses, also the bell bottom sleeves, but now after so many years this fashion is also becoming a trend. Pole dots dresses are coming, bell bottom jeans we have been wearing. So this fashion which has already been faded earlier, now it is coming. So also we can say that fashion also changes. Similarly, the company's structure, the organization, so this is also changing. The factors of business, that is the customer's preferences, also change day by day. So factors of business environment, that is the promotion technique, the sales technique, also is been changing very drastically. Adapting to the environmental changes is necessary for the growth of organization. So for example, if any company, if any organization wants to survive in the long growth, then that company should adapt to new changes. Adapt is whether if the environment is changing, even we should change. So for example, now earlier your studies was totally offline and now it is been only online. Even the classes, your test, Google Forms are there, mock tests are there. So this all is happening online. So even we in 12th ISTIC is there to guide you online. So now this factors is being changing drastically. So even we and even you as a viewers should change the concept. So even we should adapt to new changes. With the help of motivation, proper communication and leadership, The employees can clearly understand the nature of change and also the positive outcome of adopting to the change. For example, e-filing, use of a robot at workplace, etc. So here it is said that also the employees, also the managers, the subordinates in the company, they also have to constantly be updated. They should also change the nature of work, the pattern of work. For example, e-filing, that is the tax return, is also now it is being online. In China, some of the restaurants are having robots to serve the dishes. So technology is being changed. Also we have to adapt to new changes. Then the next point, the sixth point is effective utilization of resources. Direction involves assigning duties and responsibilities to everyone. Now direction is to direct someone, to guide someone, to tell someone, to give order to someone. So when we tell or when we guide, we give a certain duties and responsibilities to every employees. So they have to follow that duties and responsibilities. They have to carry that duties and responsibilities. For example, in colleges we have CR who looks after the whole class. So we are assigning some duties, some tasks and some responsibilities to the CR in the colleges. Then proper instructions and systems are developed to avoid waste, duplication of efforts, etc. Subordinates are guided to utilize the resource, that is men, machine, material and money, in the maximum possible way. It helps in reducing the cost and increase in the profit. So if proper instructions are given to the subordinates or to the employees, then the duplication of work, that is one thing being done by 2 or 3 people, so this is being avoided. This can be avoided. Also our energy is also not wasted much, because if one person will stick to one thing, then the other person can do the next following things. So duplication of work and that efforts also can be reduced. Whether and if doing like this, it can also lead to profit and it can also minimize the time as well. So we can cut down the cost, and whereas the profit, the cost, it can be increased. Then the next point is, the seventh point is creates team spirit. Create team spirit means to work together as a team, to work together as one for our company, for its growth. So team spirit is your team work. Direction focuses on motivating the subordinate for group efforts. So when we direct, when we give instruction, we should also tell them to work as a team in a company. Group effort or team spirit plays vital role in success of an organization than individual efforts. So in any company, in whichever company or wherever we go in life, we should be united. We should be in one team. Rather, if we are making or if we are doing the work individually, it will not have that importance. Also, the work can be delayed and that work cannot take place. So it is very important to work as a team, as a one team in organization or company or wherever. Therefore, the role of manager as a director plays very important role in guiding and motivating the employees to achieve the predetermined goals. So here the role of the manager is very important, so as to keep the whole team in one group, to guide them, to motivate all the team members in the group and to treat them equally. For example, in team spirit, we can take the example of a cricket team, how they are united, how they play with just one goal, that is to win the match. So the cricket example goes well with team spirit. Also, when you have annual day or farewell, so all the students get united, they have a discussion what has to be done. If this group is doing this, then we will do that, so that duplication of work is also avoided. Okay, so this is a team. When you conduct when you go for a picnic also, we go in a team. So suppose if one person will get this snack, so other person will get that, so you communicate there. So discussions, directions, planning, organizing, staffing, everything is being taken at that point of a time. So this is called as team spirit, to be one and to achieve to work to achieve only one specific goal. Now the eighth one is explore capabilities of individuals. Every individual has various capabilities or potential in addition to their formal qualification. Direction helps to identify and utilize their abilities for best performance by encouraging and motivating them just like a leader. Now, in explore capabilities of individuals, we have that every individual's way of thinking, every individual's potential to do work, capability to do work is different. Okay, in a formal way, but it is different in each and every type of a human being, whether it is employees, managers, or even we as an individuals. So this is being analyzed, this is being identified by the managers, and accordingly they encourage us, they motivate us to be a leader and to lead in the forefront. For example, we can say that every student's IQ level is also very different. If one student is good in drawing, then other can be good in playing or in comparing. So each and every potential level of thinking, capability is different, but the managers identify this, they study their capabilities, their potentials, and then they work towards achievement of a goal. Now the ninth one is increases efficiency level. Guidance and motivation is given to subordinate to perform their best level. Being a leader, team spirit is created by the manager as well as proper technique of supervisions are used. So here, to provide guidance, that is to guide someone, to help someone, and to motivate the subordinate is very important. So as a leader, we have to guide them, we have to supervise them, we also have to motivate them in order to achieve that goal and aim that is being set up. So for this, various techniques are to be used, so the managers need to be aware of these techniques. It work positively and result into enhancing the efficiency level of whole organization. So we should take this in a very positive manner. Thus then the efficiency level of the organization will increase. And now we have the last point, that is the 10th point, is cooperation. Cooperation is necessary for smooth flow of organizational activities. Now cooperation is to cooperate with one another, to cooperate with our managers, to cooperate with our colleagues, or to cooperate with the boss is very important. It should be created by managers, that is director from top level to bottom level management. So cooperation should be there from the top to the middle and middle to the low. So there should be a proper cooperation amongst all the levels of management. Healthy cooperation, teamwork, and higher efficiency level leads to attainment of goals. Only when the work is being coordinated with all the levels of management, the work is being communicated, only then it will lead to betterment of the work for the company. Thus, directing to subordinate is a basic management function that includes building an effective work climate through motivation. So thus here it is being said that directing is the basic and the important function of management, which helps to build an effective work environment to the companies, to the organization. So for this, a motivation and encouragement is necessary. So this is it with the functions of management, directing, meaning, definition, and importance. Stay tuned for our next video on OCE and M. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe my channel 12th Istik. Take care. Bye-bye.